The School Mural by Sarah Vásquez, illustrated by Melinda Levine. Contents: the news, a mural idea, the plan, painting the mural, the newspaper, the open house. The news. One morning, Mrs. Sanchez greeted her class. "I have some news. Soon our school will be 50 years old. We're going to have an open house on May 25th to celebrate this big event." Mrs. Sanchez said, "Each class will make a big project. It should be about our school and our community." Paul asked, "What should we do?" "I'm sure you'll think of some good ideas," said Mrs. Sanchez. The class went outside for recess. Maylee and Paul raced for the swings. They liked to see who could swing the highest. Maylee thought about the big project. She said, "I think we should write a song or put on a play for our class project. What do you think?" Paul said, "We've done those things before. We need a really big project." While Maylee was swinging very high, she looked past the school. She saw the building across the street. It had a big mural painted on the front wall. This gave her a great idea. A mural idea. Later that day, Mrs. Sanchez asked the class for their ideas. Paul wanted to print a huge banner on the computer. Maria wanted to make bookmarks to give away. Edwina's idea was to make a huge card and have everyone sign it. Maylee said, "Let's make a mural." "What's a mural?" asked Ted. "It's a big picture painted on a wall of a building," said Maylee. "Look at this one at the pet shop." She pointed out the window. Mrs. Sanchez listed the children's ideas on the board. "These are all good ideas," said Mrs. Sanchez. "Let's pick one that everyone can have part in. Look over the list again. Then we'll vote on our project." Mrs. Sanchez pointed to each idea as they voted. At first, not many children voted. Then, she pointed to the mural. Idea. 16 children raised their hands. "I think you picked a fine project for that everyone can work on," said Mrs. Sanchez. Banner, bookmarks, card, mural, song, play. The plan. Mrs. Sanchez said, "People from many different cultures have painted on walls. Long ago, cave people painted on the walls of their caves. Their paintings tell us how people lived then. Here's a picture of a cave painting. It is a kind of mural." She held up the picture. "Murals are huge. We'll need to think of lots of things to show," said Maria. Mrs. Sanchez said, "Murals tell about people and their community. Think of some good things to tell about your school." "Let's tell people about our school band," said Beto. "We need a really big wall for our mural," said Maria. "What about the outside wall we see when we swing on the playground?" said Paul. "All the classes see it every day." Mrs. Sanchez said, "I'll ask our principal, Mr. Ford, if it's okay." "Maylee, since the mural was your idea, please go with me to see him." Later, Mrs. Sanchez said, "The principal likes the idea of painting a mural on the wall. He said he will ask if the local newspaper will take a picture of the mural. That would show how our community works together." Beto asked, "Where will we get the paint? We'll need lots of brushes too." Paul said, "Let's ask the art teacher for help. Maybe we could ask our families to help us too. My mom loves to paint." Good idea. Please tell your families about our project and then I'll call them, said Mrs. Sanchez. Painting the mural. For the next 3 weeks, the class worked on the mural. First, they planned the scenes to draw. Next, the art teacher helped the children draw sketches of the different scenes on the wall. Then they started painting the mural. 20 children couldn't all paint at once, so they took turns. First, the band group painted. Then the next group painted. Some parents helped paint the high parts of the wall near the roof. It was hard work, but everyone had fun. Some funny things happened. One day, Paul bumped the paint tray and got paint all over himself. Then he slipped and put his hands on the wall. He left his handprints on the mural. Everyone decided it looked good, so they added their handprints too. Another time, Angelina was painting high up on a ladder. She dipped the brush into the bucket and splattered lots of paint onto the wall. But down below her was Beto, so she splattered him too. He had green hair that day. The newspaper. When the mural was finished, Mr. Ford called the newspaper. A reporter came to write a story. He asked the class many questions about how they made their mural. He got everyone's name. He took photos of the mural with the painters in front of it. He told the children to watch for the article soon. The children could hardly wait to see the article in the newspaper. After about a week, the article appeared with a big photo of the mural. The headline said, "Children show school pride." The open house. On the day of the open house, Mr. Ford spoke to all the children, parents, and visitors. He told everyone what project each class had done. Then he invited the visitors to walk around and see all the projects. The children were very proud and excited. When Mr. Ford told about the mural, the crowd cheered. One neighbor stood up and thanked the students for making such a beautiful painting. He said people would enjoy it for many years. The newspaper reporter came again too. He took pictures of the mural and the children. Some of the children decided they liked painting so much that it became their new hobby. Someday they might be famous painters. Or maybe they'll come back to school sometime just to enjoy their mural. They might even tell students the story of how their mural came to be. The end. This book was published by Steck Bond Company. I do not own the rights of this book. This video has been recorded for educational purposes. All rights reserved by Pair It Books, a trademark of Steck Bond Company.